very warm welcome to EPISTEMO's stage event, and we are really happy to have you here with us. Thank you.
It's a grateful thing for me that today I am able to share my views with you. Thank you so much for having me today. So, I wanted to share a short story with all of you about myself. And today I'm here to tell you that if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So, I have done certifications like ma'am has mentioned, like yoga, gym, and understanding Bhagavad Gita. And out of all the certifications, my favorite is yoga. So, why is it my favorite? When I wanted to take the yoga teacher training certification, I did it because I thought I'll just improve my flexibility. But not only did I improve my flexibility, I have also gained a lot of insights on purpose. I always used to wonder, what is our purpose and how are we connected to the universe? So this is what we're going to see today, which is passed down to us by our great sages and also by scientists. Yes. So, the secret is, the truth is, we all have 7 unique and true qualities, which is happiness, love, peace, bliss, power, wisdom. So, all these qualities are our true self, our true nature. So, if you are positive, these qualities increase. And if you're negative, they decrease. And we should always strive to keep our positive qualities on the high. Why? Let us see. So, there are 2 kinds of energies. So, positive is joy, love. So, when we are happy, when we are loving the world, loving the universe, and when we are confident, we attract all positive things in the world. Because we all humans, scientists have proved that we also have energy field around us. So, if I'm confident, in my presence, you also become confident. So, and if we are in the negative field, which is if you are being hurt, or if you are sad, we attract negative things. But there will be instances in life where we might become hurt, we might become sad. So, how do we avoid that? So, only confidence and love. So, if somebody is hurting us, if there is something positive in that, pick it up and be happy that, wow, I have learned something amazing today, and from today I'm going to be better. And if there's nothing positive, it's only negative, then your internal voice is what matters. You know who you are, you know how amazing you are, because we all have unlimited potential. So your internal voice, if that is strong enough, nothing in the world can affect you. You can still give back love to the world and you can attract everything positive in life. I'll give you a real life example. So, our great sage Buddha has said that we are what we think. All that we are arises from our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make our world. So, a small example. So, when I was in my 10th standard, I went to my mom and I told her, Mom, I want to get 10 out of 10 CGPA in the 10th. So mom was like, you know what? It's okay even if you don't get it. Because she was concerned if I would get worried if I don't. So I told her, no mom, I'll definitely get it. And then I gave the exams. Every day after I gave the exam, I used to think, oh, I wish I did it more better. I wish I did it more better. And the results came up. Surprisingly, I did get it. And this, in my life, is the first proof of law of attraction. In Shah Rukh Khan's dialogue, if you all have known, जिस चीज को हम दिल से चाहते हैं पूरा कायनात लग जाता है हमें वो देने के लिए. So anything you dream of something, whatever profession you want, whatever financial state, your academic goals, every goal you can reach it only if you are specific about it. So only thinking about it is not the deal. So there are 4 secret steps for success. It is IDA, awareness. Number 1, you should know why you want it, the reason you want it. Number 2, interest. You should be like super interested and you should desire it, and then you should take action. Awareness, interest, desire and action. And once you take action with all your focus, you're unstoppable. Yeah. So this science that I'm telling you has been proved by physics, that we all are connected in the subtle realm taught by quantum physics. And the human energy field, it has been proven that our vibrations attract situations, people and things. So always talk what you really want and wish for the best, and you are going to be the best because you are the best. Yeah. So on a concluding note, I want to tell you again that your potential is unlimited. I believe in your potential. Do you? Thank you so much. Thank you.
And just one word, I always call things as bara. Okay, so bara no, keep quiet. Now before we start, just one thing about TED. TED is a global platform for students where they share their ideas, and the ideas that are universal, and most importantly, there is no limit, or there is no restriction rather. Students choose their own topics, research on them and present them. Sometimes they give information, sometimes they give their opinions. And today we have the mix of both. Some of them have researched the topic and are presenting as information. Some of them are giving their own opinion. And forming opinion is very much fact-based, and you will be able to now witness what they have done. The topics that we have range from universe to the insect on the planet. And if I'm not wrong, true to our culture, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we can call it as the theme of our today's day. So, first child that goes on the stage is Kaustubh. And why we are choosing him first? Because he is talking about the evolution of man. He is talking about the Darwin stage. And as we know in biology, that's the first stage about humans. So he is opening today's talk.
On the last tab.
You have this thing with you?
Yes.
Go.
Respected principal, vice principal, and esteemed teachers and all my dear friends, a very good morning to all of you. My name is Kaustubh Acharya, and today I will be talking about Charles Darwin's theory of evolution. Charles Darwin introduced the theory of evolution in his book On the Origin of Species in 1859. Darwin wrote and noted down everything about how, however, like men, animals, and all species evolve from one generation to another generation with different beneficial traits. Charles Darwin's two main principles were natural selection and the survival of the fittest. Charles Darwin, a biologist, studied numerous types of plants and animals and suggested that only those organisms that are likely to survive, which can best adapt themselves to a changing environment. This is called the theory of the survival of the fittest. This is Darwin's first principle. If an organism is born with a new beneficial characteristic and is able to survive, this change is preserved in the next generation. This is Darwin's second principle and is called the theory of natural selection. Alfred Wallace independently discovered the theory of natural selection around the same time as Darwin. So there was another person named Alfred Wallace, and he also independently discovered the theory of natural selection around the same time as Darwin. Natural selection explains how organisms adapt themselves to their environment and pass on beneficial traits to their offspring. Advantageous traits become more common in populations over time, while less advantageous, like disadvantageous traits, just stay in that generation and don't move on. Okay, so here you can see there are three species, a butterfly, a horse, and a human. So this is their transformation. This is known as evolution. Now, natural selection can lead to the formation of new and distinct species known as speciation. Here you can see there, this is one species, horse. I'm going to put them in, if we put this same species in two different climatic conditions, then eventually the horse survived in this climatic condition, but in this climatic condition and geographical location, the horse had to change a lot of, had to adapt to the environment, and at the end we'll get two different species. Their eating habits, the way they survive, everything changes. This is another example. Now all of you know that giraffes have a very long neck and they're known for it. So here you can see that the giraffe's neck, we'll call in three generations. The first generation, the second generation, and the third generation. In the first generation, the giraffe had a pretty short neck, so as it needed to eat more leaves on taller trees. In the next generation, when this giraffe reproduced another small one, here the neck grows a bit longer. Slowly in the third generation, you can see that it is very long. Darwin's theory of evolution's relation to the Hindu god Lord Vishnu's 10 incarnations. This is very interesting. So the first avatar of Lord Vishnu was Matsya avatar, and in Matsya avatar, Lord Vishnu had taken the form of a fish, which is an aquatic animal. Darwin also told us that the first form of life on earth would be an aquatic animal. Second avatar of Lord Vishnu, Kurma avatar. In this avatar, Lord Vishnu had taken the form of a tortoise, which is a reptile. Darwin also mentioned this, that slowly the aquatic animals would come out and become reptiles. The third avatar, the Varaha avatar. This avatar shows that Lord Vishnu is half boar and half man. Here, Lord Vishnu. Here, Darwin also this avatar of Lord Vishnu shows how different species evolve from one generation to another. Narsimha avatar, the fourth avatar of Lord Vishnu. This also shows how different species transform from one generation to another. Vamana avatar. This shows about the complete human transformation. Parshuram. Let's break the term. Parshu and Ram. Parshu in Sanskrit means an axe, and Ram is Lord Ram. It's a name. Here, Parshu means axe, and Lord Vishnu in this avatar always moves with a Parshu, which is an axe. And this most probably depicts about a Stone Age man. Seventh avatar, Lord Ram. In this avatar of Lord Vishnu, it shows about a well-developed society. Out of the 10 avatars, only 8 main of them show this coincidence, or whatever you may call it. I would call it a coincidence. Because in the universe, everything has a reason. And the last avatar out of 10, which I am using for my presentation, is Lord Krishna. This shows about modern problems such as warfare. I am very thankful for all of you to give this opportunity to me. Thank you.
Sharing with your friends, but print out silence. Please just with all of us uploaded on the website. So let us make it discipline and silence, pin drop silence. Yes?
Should I go there?
Thank you so much.
We announced over there because we will stand and then start.
Yes, now continuing with the theory of evolution, we have, all of us know we can't see the light. That's an evolutionary fact about humans, and it is called dynamic. Dynamic, the meaning of the word is species who cannot see in the night, they can see during the daylight. And Sanjana is going to speak about this dynamically to us.
Have your parents ever told you to sleep before 11 p.m.? Because we all may or may not have a routine, but what most of us used to follow is the diurnal cycle. Good morning, my name is Sanjana and I'm going to talk about diurnality. Before getting into the topic, let's find out what diurnality is. It is sleeping in the night and being awake in the day. Why is diurnality good for us? It comes with its own release of hormones, which are the cortisol hormone, which controls the body's use of fats, proteins, carbohydrates, and controls the body's metabolism. The leptin hormone, which regulates the energy balance in our body, and the melatonin hormone, which is known as the hormone of darkness. Other than that, it comes with its own release of genes, which code for our proteins in our cell's nucleus, which build up in the night and lessen during the day. Why do we deny that we're made to be diurnal? Diurnality is good for us, but we're moving away from it. And this results in different diseases and weight gain like obesity, diabetes, and etc. What can change or mess up our sleep schedule? Jet lag. Jet lag is when you go to different places or work shifts, which can mess up our sleep schedule as our biological cycle is already set to our original place. Mutations or changes in our sleep schedule can also mess up our biological clocks. How sleeping late can affect your health. Sleeping late can causes poor metabolism, which can cause diabetes, and eating late in the night can cause weight gain, obesity, and other metabolic syndromes. When we see light from our electronics in the night, it makes us think that it's actually day when it's actually night. So it can change our sleep schedule as well. That's why let's choose what our ancestors rightly said. Let's sleep in the night early and wake up in the day, so that we're healthy, wealthy, and wise. We need to have our 7 to 8 hours of adequate sleep, so that our health is perfect and our body is fit and fine. Thank you.
I hope we took the clue from this because generally when we are stepping into the teenage year, we are very fond of being awake till early. Yes, right? My brain is awake till 2 o'clock, so I need to be awake till 2 o'clock. But remember, we are diurnal creatures. We need to be awake during the day and sleep during the night. It is very important for us. Okay, so moving on, and as we saw the Darwin's evolution, then we saw why we need to sleep during night. Now we have another child, Ion, coming to us and telling us. Generally we think we are superior, right? We humans think we are superior and everybody else is nothing. But Ion has a different point of view, so let's see what he has to tell us.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayan, and I'll be sharing my opinion on the topic, is the human brain superior or inferior to the brain of other organisms? Now let's talk about the human brain. The human brain is the central organ of the nervous system, and it consists of a part known as the cerebrum, which has many more responsibilities. For example, thinking, visionary, and behavior. And now let's talk about an average adult's brain. The size of an average adult's brain is just about 79 square inches and weighs just about 3 pounds or also 1.6 kilograms. Now let's talk about the brain of an insect. Have you ever wondered if an ant has a brain? Like, the insect is already very small. There's no way a brain could fit in that. Well, I can answer this question. Most living organisms have a brain, including the tiniest. The only types of creatures that don't have a brain are certain types of jellyfish and most microorganisms. The size of an ant's brain is just about 0.0003 cubic millimeters, which is extremely small. They have a very small brain, but they are truly very intelligent. Now, this leads to the question, can we say that the insects are smarter than us? To understand this, we could take ants as an example. Ants have divided them into many categories. For example, cleaners, workers, and soldiers. They do not fight. They have such peace in their colonies. On the other hand, humans always fight. We always have conflicts and wars. Ants are very hardworking compared to many of us. We can take students as an example. All of us, or most of us, procrastinate our work and keep it until the last minute. Sometimes we do a third of it, a fourth, we don't even do it at all. On the other hand, ants are very hardworking and do their work on time. Size does not matter. There could be a larger thinking capacity in a smaller insect. For example, ants. They have a very small brain, but they're truly very intelligent. So now, in conclusion, we can say that we are not superior nor inferior to the other organisms. Each organism is superior in their own ways. Thank you.
Insects do have brain, so let us appreciate the insects around us. They do the work that we cannot do. So we cannot call ourselves as superior to human beings. All of us share the planet. This thinking of sharing, we do share a lot of traits with animals. And Wiley is going to talk about another trait, which is common to many animals, including humans. Yes, Wiley.
Have you ever found yourself in a situation where out of nowhere you let out a big yawn and those around you start yawning as well? My name is Vainavi from 6E and today I am going to talk about why yawning is contagious. Yawning is a universal behavior. Humans yawn, animals yawn, and even before you are born. Yet, the question remains, why does it spread like wildfire in a group of people? Yawning's contagiousness is a fascinating example of how our biology and social instincts are closely intertwined. It's not random, it's a powerful expression of empathy and social connection. It also shows us that we humans are naturally connected to each other. Scientific facts like it is believed that yawning's contagiousness is most likely to occur with people who have a strong social bond. Brain studies show that when we see someone yawn, it activates the brain regions which are associated with imitation and empathy. Mirror neurons in the brain, which are linked to imitation, are believed to be involved in contagious yawning. Are a few facts which illustrate the relationship between empathy and yawning. In conclusion, yawning is our brain's simple and effective way of connecting with those around us, showing that we are connected even though if it's in a way as simple as a yawn. So the next time you find yourself in a situation or a yawning chain, remember it's just your brain's way in staying synced with others. Thank you.
Thank you, Vainavi. The next human trait, which is very unique. Why unique? Because I never came across any studies about it, so I call it unique to humans. And we have been asked to do so all the time. Fulfill your dreams, right? But we are going to look at some scientific facts or science behind the dreams. And to tell us about the science behind the dreams, we are welcoming Ryan.
Dreams are like a window into a universe where anything can happen and our imaginations can run wild. But why do we dream? So today I'm going to tell the science behind dreams. My name is Gayatri and I'm from 7th grade. I'm opening a new tab. When we click on that and present is there. Present. Yes. Now can I restart? Dreams are like a window into a universe where anything can happen and our imaginations can run wild. But why do we dream? So today I am going to tell the science behind dreams. My name is Gayatri and I am from 7th grade. Dreams are one of the most mysterious aspects of human consciousness. Dreams are a series of images, thoughts and sensations which typically occur 90 minutes after falling asleep. Dreams are both psychological and biological process. During REM rapid eye movement, most of our dreaming occurs and most of our body is paralyzed except for our eyes and diaphragm. In this stage, our brain is active. Our eyes twitch and our muscles become limp so that we don't act out the dream. So everybody doesn't understand the reason behind why do we dream. So some theories and scientists have tried to find the reason behind dreams. So why do we dream? To consolidate our data and memories. Some researchers believe that we dream to consolidate our data and store our memories, to process our feelings and emotions. Another theory suggests that we dream to process our emotions and deal with it, to figure out problems. One researcher believed that we dream to solve our problems in different situations and scenarios, to simulate reality. We also dream to simulate reality and prepare us for the future. I believe that dreams are a part of our mind, a way of our mind showing us a part of our memories which we did not notice and should have noticed. This explains why we see the events which have already occurred. We can still continue to study about this phenomenon, whether to serve problem solving, simulate reality or process emotions. Dreams provide us with a unique glimpse of the working of the human brain. So the next time when you wake up from a vivid or a strange dream, take a moment to appreciate it. Thank you.
We heard the word mirror neurons. I heard it first time when the girl was talking about the yawning. Till then, I had no idea something called mirror neurons. And we are actually going to share more light on mirror neurons. Yes, yes.
Have you ever thought why we can read other people's body language and faces so well? For an instance, when someone suddenly throws a ball at you, your immediate reaction is to catch the ball. Why does this happen? This happens because of mirror neurons. Good morning everyone, my name is Yajvi. Today I am going to speak about mirror neurons. Mirror neurons were first discovered by Giacomo Razzuolati in 90s. He was an Italian neuropsychologist who used to work at the University of Param. Similar neurons have been identified in mice, humans and birds. Mirror neurons are in dispersed areas of our brain and are constantly paying attention to others and their emotional state. Once it identifies the emotional state of an individual, it mirrors it, it mimics it, and then we feel it too. Few functions of mirror neurons are understanding interactions, facilitating learning, enhancing empathy, and automatic imitation. In understanding interactions, based upon an action of an individual, we try to understand what they will do next. Like, when you see someone opening a bottle knob, you might think that he is going to drink the water or spill it on someone else. In facilitating learning, first you see, then you do. It is one of the most fundamental way by which you can learn through observation and imitation. This is mostly observed in kindergarten, where the teacher tries to feel the child. The teacher opens her mouth so that the baby opens the mouth to take the food in. In enhancing empathy, mirror neurons allow us to share and understand the emotions and experience of others. Like when you see an emotional scene in a movie, you might also get emotional. In automatic imitation,
It refers to the case where an individual having an observed body movement unintentionally performs the same body movement. Like when you see someone yawning, you might also yawn. These are few functions of mirror neurons. Some researchers claim that autism is caused due to lack of mirror neurons, leading to disabilities in social skills, empathy, and theory of mind. It is just one of many theories of autism and yet has not been proved. Overall, mirror neurons are a fascinating topic of research which is still going on. Thank you.
Yes, now if we look at it, we have been talking about mirror neurons, we're talking about shared traits and all. But before we humans connect with each other, talking about all this is a waste. First, we need to connect with each other, celebrate our similarities, and cherish the differences. And this is something Siddharth is going to highlight in his speech.
Greetings to everyone present here. I'm Siddharth Vinayar, and I'm here to talk about a topic which is quite unconventional. But once you go into that rat hole, it's pretty hard to get out. Myths or anecdotes. Oftentimes, people are confused about the term mythology. It's related to religion, but that really constricts the main idea. Essentially, mythology is the study and interpretation of myths. Now, what are these myths? Myths are stories or fables that are often sacred to particular cultures. Mythology can also be defined as a collection of these myths. Now, the term mythology comes from Greek, and the direct translation to English is story of the people. Story of the people. That means history, right? So this compels us to believe that mythology is history. But as we know, it is not. Or do we? Over the years, mythology has come to be accepted as fiction. I mean, the very term myth means something that didn't happen or is a false belief. But I and many around the world don't conform with this idea. And here's my reason to why so. You see, many mythological stories around the world have similarities. Their themes and motives are very common. And this intrigues me because, and I want all of you to remember this throughout the rest of the presentation, that whenever there's a similarity in a certain point of time, that means there's a probable cause that it did happen. And to explain this, I would like to give a few examples and show to you what I mean. So first, we have the theme of creation myths. Christians and Jews believe in the story of Genesis, where God created the earth and the universe. Hindus believe in how Brahma created the universe, or the Brahmand. And then we have Ymir from Norse mythology, who literally screamed the universe into existence. Now, what we see here is that three different entities, singular entities from different geographical regions and mythologies are the reason for creating the universe. So it's common that a singular entity created the universe and the people in it. And trust me, compared to what's coming next, this is kind of simple. Because next we have the creation of humans, something very personal to us. In Egyptian mythology, the creation of humans is with Ra, who breathes humans into life. The Greeks believe that Prometheus, or ancient Greeks believe that Prometheus molded the perfect shape for a living entity, and that became the humans. He molded us out of clay. And the Babylonians believe that we're actually planted here by aliens to mine gold from earth. So you see that these various ideas from different mythologies are very dramatic. Now, why is that? If you think about it, that makes sense. We humans always have a need to validate ourselves. You know, we want to be special. And embedding that in our mythology and our thought process is very special. To make these stories more interesting, we have the hero's journey. Now, the hero's journey is a common narrative, not only seen in mythological stories, but stories everywhere. But what I have observed is that in mythological stories, the hero's journey is more about transformation than the journey itself. For example, the Hindu story of the Ramayana is where Ram has a perfect life. He's a great person in general. He's the perfect person. But yet he encounters a problem and he goes through hardships to solve it. And therefore, he's a hero. In the Celtic story of King Arthur is from a very low family, you know. His family is a bad family. They do bad things. But Arthur is a good person. And he exuberates that goodness. And therefore, he becomes the king of Britain. We all know the story of Hercules. But today, I want to bring into notice a similarity of a hero character from Chinese mythology known as Sun Wukong, or the Monkey King. You see, what I want to compare Sun Wukong to is our beloved deity Hanuman. In the scriptures, they both have the exact same qualities and almost similar stories. Sun Wukong's story is that he accompanied a Tibetan monk and the Tibetan party to the West. Here, West refers to India because at that time, India was essentially what America is to the world now. Everyone wanted to come to India after they created some wealth. So Sun Wukong protects the Tibetan priests from all the dangers that come to them and helps them have a successful journey to India. Now this sounds similar to the journey in the Ramayana. Now what does this mean? In different geographical locations, a same character, right? A same mythological character is found. There's timelines for this, which I'll come to later. So this means that maybe the characters of Sun Wukong and Hanuman, maybe they did exist. There is mention of the Vanar caste in Hindu mythology. Maybe these people were wiped out because of some kind of natural disaster or some war. Now I'd like to come to the trickster figures. Every hero needs a villain, right? Right? Why yes? Why didn't you question it? Why does everyone need to be bad? Why does every hero need a villain? Why can't everyone be good? Well, there's a simple answer actually. Because suppose everyone was good. Everyone we knew was good and everyone did only good things. That would mean, because it's common human nature, that eventually at some point we will forget what is bad and then we'll revert back to it. So trickster figures and evil people are important to us at some point and we often forget that. So that's what I think about trickster figures. That's my interpretation. But I would like to bring a similarity into the table. You see, I have here two trickster figures. One from Native America called Coyote. Now a coyote is a Native American creature. The deity Coyote is half coyote and half human. And I have one from Africa and the Caribbean called Anansi. Anansi is half spider, half human. Now what I find fascinating is that first, these two different regions, thousands of miles away, have the same system of thinking where their trickster creature is half human, half animal. And second is Anansi herself. You see, the character of Anansi is found in Africa and the Caribbean, again, thousands of miles apart. And the character is almost the exact same, the same name, the same attributes, the same features. It's quite interesting when you think about it. So this means that maybe Anansi actually existed, right? And when we know that something existed, we have to point it out at some point of history, which brings me to the theme of world ages. All major mythologies in the world have this concept of world ages. For example, Hinduism has the concept of the 4 yugas, the Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Greek mythology has the concept of ages of man, Stone Age, Gold Age, Iron Age. Now, the question you should be asking is why? Why would a mythological thinker need a system of time? Why do we need a system of time? We need a system of time to point out that in a certain point of time, something happened. So these mythologies creating a system of time essentially means that they also want to revert back to history and come across the point where their story happened. In fact, the Hindu concept of yugas even makes predictions of what happens in each yuga. In fact, the Kali Yuga prediction is that the world will descend into anarchy and violence. And we do see that around us, don't we? Now, this is something very interesting, but not really commonly thought upon, because underworlds are really taken into granted. The thought that, you see, Christianity has an underworld, Judaism has an underworld, Islam has an underworld, Hinduism has an underworld. All major religions and cultures have an underworld. Isn't that interesting? All of them, they have the same thought that there is a hell. So this means that there might be a hell. But of course, modern history, modern practices say there isn't. But why do we accept that? And between these different cultures, there's also many similarities which also try to prove the fact that there is a hell. For example, in the Christian hell, there is one sole leader of hell, I would say, Satan, who makes sure that everyone goes through punishment. In Hinduism, hell is Naraka, which is ruled by Yama. And in Greek mythology, hell is ruled by Hades. There are 3 single figures in all of these hells whose duty is the same, to punish the people who did bad things. Now, between Hinduism and Greek mythology, Hades has a 3-headed dog. You'll be surprised to know that in Hinduism, Yama also has one dog which is said to have 6 eyes. So if you do the math, that's 3 heads. Therefore, this small concept, big concept, but small thought of underworlds itself has so many similarities which we can extract out from just 3 different cultures. Love stories are also common in various mythologies, which implies that they did really take stories from real life. For example, the story of Orpheus, the tragic love story of Orpheus and Eurydice in Greek mythology, and the story of the cowherd and the weaver girl in Chinese mythology. Cosmic battles are also a great way to create the scene for the rest of the story. For example, in Norse mythology, the story of Ragnarok literally means the end of the universe, which is where till the point of Ragnarok, the gods will be winning, and then once Ragnarok comes, everything is over. And the constant struggle between Asuras and Devas in Hindu mythology is what constellates what happened in our life. Now, apart from stories, I think there's one more aspect which we should look at. That is mythical creatures like serpents and dragons. Some examples include, in Christianity, Saint George and the dragon, and in Chinese mythology, the 8 immortals crossing the sea. Now, what I'd like to point out is that this is the picture of what dragons are in different regions. Many of you might not know this, but in many different regions, almost across the world evenly, there is a sort of dragon-like creature. For example, in Aztec mythology, there's Quetzalcoatl. In our Vedic mythology, there's Vritra. In Chinese mythology, there's the dragon. All these places have dragons. There's dragons in North America, there's dragons in Europe. Doesn't that mean that maybe there was a creature like dragons or a mystical serpent, and defeating that creature might have created havoc for humans, and defeating that creature was the main purpose of living, and that was done by the heroes like Saint George. So what I want to bring to attention here is not just about dragons. There's many mythological creatures which have connections in various points in history, and we just say that yes, they're mythological creatures, they didn't exist. But that we should really believe that is what I'm trying to say, because when everyone says the same thing, it's not like everyone would lie about it, right? It's common sense. Now, if we go deep into this topic, I'm pretty sure there's thousands and thousands and thousands of similarities you can find out between the thousands and thousands and thousands of thought processes in the world. But which is why I would like to end with this one theme, which I think is the basis for this entire idea. This one theme is what brought my attention to this topic. That is flood myths. Now first I'll explain each one of these in detail, and you yourself will understand what I mean. First, let's start with the story of Manu and the Matsya avatar of Vishnu. This is a Hindu story where God Vishnu comes in the form of Matsya avatar and warns the king Manu that a great flood is going to come and is going to wipe off the entire world. But it's King Manu's job to save a male and a female of every species, get them on a boat and make them survive the flood, so that later, after the flood is over, they can repopulate the earth again. And King Manu does this, and therefore the world is alive. Then next we have Noah's Ark. The Noah's Ark is a story where God warns Noah, a Jewish farmer, that a flood is going to come and that he should again make an ark and take a male and a female of every species on earth. Now think about it, both of these are the exact same story. It's just that the characters are different. The same is with the epic of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is the ruler of Uruk, a Sumerian territory, and he is given the task of saving all his people in a boat from a great deluge. Now, to prove that this happened, it needs to be that at a certain point of time, there had to be a great deluge, that is, a great flood in various geographical regions. And there is. Recently, geology has proved that 12,800 years ago, an event called the Younger Dryas could have made this happen. You see, what the Younger Dryas was, is we all know that there's a cycle of ice ages and global warming in Earth, right? So over hundreds and thousands of years, Earth cools and then Earth gets warm. What does that mean? Water levels rise. And when that happens, all the coastal areas where most of the life was would be flooded and everyone would die. So this kind of deluge could have happened in recent human history. And you might be thinking, what? 12,800 years ago? That's the time when people were living in the Stone Age. Well, let me tell you, the history of humanity goes back even 200,000 years ago. There is proof today that 27,000 years ago, in India, we made a structure of Shiva using complete gold. That is metallurgy in a time where it is thought to have been Stone Age. So when we lock our mind to something and stay closed-minded, we can't really find these connections. When we're open-minded, we find these and we get the stories out of them. This means that a great deluge might have happened. And the stories in this great deluge are morally correct. You see, why did this deluge happen? Is because during the time, apparently, the people were becoming bad, There was a lot of badness growing around, and God sent a deluge to cleanse everyone and leave only the good people. So that's morally correct also. Which is why I think this flood myth, once you really dive deep into it, it really interests you in this topic. Now, I've just given a few examples of similarities between various cultures. And you can trust me on this, that there's thousands and thousands of similarities you can find out yourselves. But what do I mean by this? We have looked at various cultures thousands of miles away from each other, and which have similarities in their stories, right? These stories they're not just about the stories. They're about universal human feelings, fears, and aspirations. They transcend cultural boundaries. So now, I want to come back to my first point. Our ancestors had consensus on their stories. And by stories, I emphasize on the stories of human history, because that's what concerns us. This meant these stories also had morals. These morals were applicable, are applicable, and will be applicable at any point in time, no matter the technological advancement in that era. Essentially, what they gave us are a set of universal laws, which if we follow, we'll have an amazing life. So, my first point being, I understand that some recitations of these stories are too dramatic or too eccentric, and they may be very, very exaggerated. But that may be to catch our fiction, because all of them have the same basic idea and motive. And let's appeal to common sense here. Why would everyone in the world lie together? What would they have to gain from it? Which brings me to my second point, before which I would also like to plead the case for this exaggeration. You see, in polytheistic cultures like ours, exaggeration is a very, very, very key element in this beautiful thing called symbolism. What is symbolism? You see, when we read Ramayana and Mahabharata, it's not supposed to be read as a story. You're supposed to read in between the lines and get the hidden message. Interpret those meanings. There's wrong meanings and there's multiple good meanings which are applicable at any situation. And if you interpret those good meanings, then it's great for you. So this symbolism is very important in that aspect, which is why these stories may have been exaggerated, these mythological characters may have been added, these emotions may have been so dramatic. And now we come to my point 2. Why don't we accept this? I mean, this idea literally means that we are all together. We are all from the same family and we are not alone. You see, why don't we accept this? Why don't we want to accept the truth? And there's a simple answer. The world is too prideful and egoistic. We're divided on gender, religion, looks, and language. When we are ready to split up on these so-called differences, then why would we care for magicians and talking animals? Because for all practical purposes, that is our fiction. Morals and values are our fiction, but violence, discrimination, and prejudice is as real as it gets. Thank you all for listening to me.
Good morning everyone, I am Slagika and today I am going to speak about insecurities. First of all, let's start with a simple word, Worcestershire. It was one of the words I was not able to pronounce by myself. This was one of my insecurities. Now let me talk about types of insecurities and what you're all waiting for, how to get rid of them. The first type of insecurity is a physical insecurity. This is an insecurity that comes with your physical features. When you are not sure about your physical features are perfect or not, you get this type of insecurity. The next type is social insecurity. When you have the fear of judgment or the fear of mispronouncing something can come up to this. Like my insecurity of mispronouncing few words will come under this one. Now intellectual, this is a mixture of physical and social insecurities when you feel you're not inadequate for the social standards. So this is one of the main type of insecurity where we can simply call it as inadequacy. Now the question is, how do we deal with this? Let's go with a simple one. Self-awareness. When you're aware what your insecurity is, that is when you could solve it up, right? So be aware what you're thinking that you are imperfect. Now next, everything the society says is perfect is not perfect. So first question the social standards and tell them what do you think that this is right. Next, positive influence.
When you have your friends, parents, and good people around you, you surround yourself with positive influence who motivate you and will not judge you at any cost. Next, have some self-compassion. Grow yourself every day to be a better person. Every day is a different day. Grow yourself and be yourself. Now, as I told you, insecurities as per the social standards are imperfections. And instead of completely getting rid of them and leaving them alone back there, try to embrace them and show it off. So, embrace your imperfections and stay happy. Thank you.
Yes, I hope we can introspect and see what our insecurities are and embrace them. So but Yash has made me aware. So let's see what he has to speak about something called home.
Greetings everyone. I'm here to talk about a topic which has becoming a defining characteristic of our digital age. FOMO, the fear of missing out. In this digital world, phones are technically extensions of ourselves, and social media can often feel like a second home. But it is a world where FOMO has excuse me. Yeah. It is a world where FOMO has become more than just a catchy acronym, but a pervasive force. So, what exactly is FOMO? FOMO is a phenomenon that has taken the world by storm. FOMO is the anxiety that arises when we but we never made proper memories, right? Isn't that what matters? Memories? So why is it that FOMO affects us so deeply? It's not just about keeping up with the Joneses. It's rooted into our evolution. Our ancestors were more likely to pass on their genes if they paid attention to social cues or community activities. But these days, it's been amplified to a high degree. The main reason FOMO is affecting us so deeply is because right here, it's in our brain. FOMO taps into our brain's reward system. And when we receive online validations like likes or comments or anything, our brain releases a neurotransmitter called as dopamine. You've heard of this probably before, haven't you? Dopamine. This is a neurotransmitter related with pleasure and reward. So this is why we are glued to our screens, scrolling through social media for hours and hours. So the fallout from FOMO is not just emotional. It has real consequences. Some reasons are like relationships can deteriorate because we choose to go on Instagram rather than actually attending family dinner properly, or sleep can deteriorate. So how can we break free from the clutches of FOMO? What can we possibly do? So first, we can keep schedules on our screen times. We have to first realize how much time we are spending on social media and keep restrictions. 2 is deepening connections. Rather than having hundreds of online acquaintances, why not have few very close and proper relationships with your friends and family? Next is JOMO, the joy of missing out. What is the joy of missing out? It is the complete opposite of fear of missing out. Because sometimes the best moments take place when you consciously choose to disconnect and appreciate solitude. And one which we can all do is cultivating gratitude. Be thankful for what you have and the experiences you can cherish. Living in the moment is one which we can practice every day. Keep your phone down during family dinners or vacations and enjoy the moment, not taking photos for others to see, but memories for yourself. As Ted Lasso said, living in the moment is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope Prajwal is going to speak about something, a human trait that we all have. We are very fond of judging people. We are very fond of giving an identity to a person which might not be his or her identity. And that is something Prajwal is highlighting.
Let's rewind. What did you think? What was running in your mind as I was walking on the stage? You probably thought, oh, this guy is doing something funny. He looks silly. He's foolish. But how did that come through your mind? How did those opinions come through your mind? Most of you don't even know me. Probably don't even know my name. Right? These opinions and assumptions are called stereotypes. Good morning, everyone. I'm Prajwal Maganti, and I will be talking about stereotypes. Now, you've probably heard a lot from this word, and now you might be thinking, oh no, I did something bad. I made a stereotype. But don't worry, stereotypes are just assumptions. Stereotypes are just assumptions made because of past experiences and behavior. Past experiences towards that behavior. Let's say the people who thought I looked silly. You've probably seen this before, and the person doing it is a very silly guy. So when you saw me doing it, it's a stereotype. Remember, stereotypes are just assumptions. Let's take all of us. Well, I'm pretty sure most of us. Most of us are Indian Asians. We are people, most of us are born and brought up in India. Maybe might have gone abroad. Right? We are people known as chappal throwing maniacs. We are known throughout social media and around the world as people who love throwing our precious footwear at our naughty children. Now, I know most of us, most families can deny this and say, I don't do that to my child. But this is how we are known. This is how people see us. And the same way how you thought I was silly is the same way that they could think you're a chappal throwing maniac. But this doesn't only apply to us. This applies to everyone around the world. Each and every country or nationality or religion, caste, sex has its own stereotype, its own idea, its own opinion, its own assumption of it. Let's take the other side of the world and look at our fellow Americans. I'm pretty sure most of us, including me at one point, thought of Americans as stout people who eat way too many burgers, right? But statistics show that 83% of American males and 79% of American females are actively trying to make an effort to maintain their body and try to make a fit body. This shows that not all stereotypes affect everyone. They're just an idea presented. But there's a difference between stereotypes and bigotry. What is bigotry? Bigotry is uttermost hatred. It is hatred for something so much that you would present an idea that's absolutely absurd and doesn't even correlate or doesn't even apply to them. Maybe only applies very slightly. And as the sign says, bigotry is absolutely ugly. For example, of bigotry. Let's say you're a mom and your daughter has broken a very valuable vase close to your heart. So you might be scolding, as you have the right to do that. You have the right to teach and scold. But if any person who hates a certain part, whether it's your caste, your sex, your religion, your nationality, hates any part of that, sees this, they might just think you're actually beating the child. And it sounds harsh, it sounds wrong, because that's not what you're doing. But if they hate one of your defining features that much, they're going to present that to the world, right? Let's take a real life example. I'm pretty sure most of you know what this is, but this is Islam. This is a religion that many of us follow. I have a personal story of this that I will demonstrate. In the pleasant streets of United States of America, I was walking with my Muslim friend Akbar when a few kids come into our way, come up to us and say, "Get out of our country, you terrorist!" Right? The fact is, that's absolutely wrong. That is the absolute worst form of bigotry. Because statistics show that only 0.007% of Islamic people are terrorists throughout history, right? But the idea of Muslim people being a terrorist has been presented to us so prominently that we think that's the defining feature, when it's utterly wrong. So, what's the takeaway from this? Stereotypes are good to an extent. We must draw the line between stereotypes and bigotry. Bigotry is one of the most utterly wrong things that humans have created and used against each other. Bigotry should not, as humans, if we get the courage to remove bigotry and treat stereotypes as only tiny jokes, then soon we will achieve peace in all of us and humanity. Thank you. Ma'am, can you remove the call?
Okay, so now we understood. So the most important thing is to get over the stereotypes and bigotry is to broaden our horizons. Yes?
Have you ever gone on a trip, whether to a far off place or somewhere that's near to you? If so, you would have felt how travel can change you in amazing ways. Travel is an adventure for your mind. When you travel, it gives your mind new things to discover. Travel is more than a change of scenery. Travel can help you more than just making you see different things. It helps you discover more things. So get ready to discover the exciting world of travel. Good morning everyone, my name is Divija Susanna and today I am going to present on how travel can change your perspective. Travel teaches us different things. When we travel, we meet different people from different places, cultures, religions and many more. And when we meet them, we realize that even though we are different and completely from different places, we all have similar feelings and dreams. Travel can be challenging. When we travel, we might occur the hurdles such as being lost or not understanding the language. When we frequently travel, travel helps us overcome this hurdle and makes us better at problem solving skills. Travel helps us appreciate our planet. When we travel, we see different things, geographical locations, gardens, and many more. When we see this, we see how beautiful and unique our planet is. This helps us to appreciate our planet. Travel presents us with problems. We might be occurring more problems than only not understanding the language or being lost. In this case, here's a quote to motivate you, said by a traveler named Yogesh Kumar. Just go, don't think. Everything will work out eventually when you step to do it. This means that when you want to travel or try something new, don't overthink about it, whether I should do it or not. Just go ahead, get out of your comfort zone, and it will work out eventually. Travel gives us a new way to understand things. When we travel, we get to know different perspectives, mindsets, and helps us to see things in a different way, a new way. Travel disrupts routines. When we travel, we do something new. We step out of our comfort zones to try something instead of just going with our routines and habits all the time, every single day. In summary, travel is a big learning experience. It helps us in many ways, such as problem solving skills, mindsets, perspectives, appreciate our planet, and it also helps us make the world a better place. Thank you.
Yes, we have seen to broaden our horizon. We saw how we report, we saw how we plan people, right? And after doing all this, what are we looking at? The closing and all? We are trying to immortalize ourselves. We are very much fond of
This side is the
idea
next slide, right?
that not having death would give us so much of an
Sir,
opportunity.
the next slide.
That's what is on the mind
Okay.
of the science and people who are working on genetics. But our Akil has a very different take on this idea.
As a well-spent day brings happy sleep, so life well used brings happy death, said by Leonardo da Vinci. What we can understand from this quote is that when we enjoy a day to its fullest, when we make most fun out of it, do exercise, have fun with your friends, whatever, you will have a good night's sleep. And in the same way, if we make the most out of our life, we will have a happy death. We can say we are far more technologically advanced than any of our ancestors. We can say we're in the age of innovation. But can we say we are dying any better than them? Death. What is the first thought that comes to your mind when you hear this word? Is it sadness? Sorrow? Well, I say it's quite the contrary. For over more than 2.5 billion times your heart beats, more than 600 million times you take a breath, and 100 billion operations per second your brain gives you. Do you think it would be right to live more than what we can actually do? Well, out of all the hard work our body does, there must be a rest to them, an expiry date. Let's say you still want to be alive. You want to expand the rate of working of all your organs and be immortal. Let's say you want to be immortal. What are the problems in immortality? Good morning, everyone. I'm Akhil, and I will speak to you today about mortality and why it's a blessing. Now, immortality is not a boon, it is a curse. And for the next few minutes, I will explain to you why it is so, and a few people who have tried to be immortal but ended up just wasting their time. What are the problems in immortality? We'll see this with a few stories of people who were spending so much of their life trying to be immortal while not finding the joy in their life. First up, we have Mahishasura. Now, how many of you know Mahishasura? To the vast majority of you who do not know him, he was a demon who had taken a boon from Brahma that he will not be killed by any male god, creature, or animal that Brahma has created. But he forgot the power of women. He didn't think any woman could overpower him, and so came from the loophole Durga Devi. Now, next up we have Hiranyakashipu. Now, Hiranyakashipu was a great king, the father of Prahalad, who was a big devotee to Lord Vishnu. Now, Hiranyakashipu did not want that. But before we get into that, he had a boon that he will not die during day or night, inside or outside, or by any creature created by Brahma without any weapon. But so came the loophole again. This time he was killed as the sun was setting, which is neither day nor night, by the claws of Narasimha on the throne, which is neither on the ground nor at the sky, in his laps. Another story is of Qin Shi Huang. He was the first Chinese emperor who, in his old age, as everyone else, wanted to be immortal. So he sent over 700 soldiers 2 times to try to find the elixir of life, to try to be immortal. But he failed again, and it led to the collapse of the Chinese emperor. This is a very interesting story that many of us reject and say it's too fictional to be true. But let's learn about what happened during the Samudra Manthan. In the Samudra Manthan, Devas, gods, and Asuras, who are demons, both together churned the ocean of milk to get the elixir of life, which is Amrutam. Now, what happened here was they said they would share it equally, but we all know what would happen if demons had immortality. So the Devas had tricked them and taken the elixir of life. Instead of denying all of these as myths, we can take something to learn from each story here. We can learn some valuable life lessons from each incident that has happened here. Okay, let's say you still want to be immortal. Let's see a person who was actually immortal, Ashwadama. Now, unlike all the other people, Ashwadama didn't want to be immortal, but he was cursed by Lord Krishna to be immortal. And when you're immortal, Ashwadama had a wound on his head, on his forehead. Now that wound didn't disappear, it would bleed every day, and Ashwadama would plead for death, but death would not meet him. So, is death really that bad? Is it as bad as we say it is? I would say it's not that bad at all. Death is merely a phenomenon that tests your willpower and determination to make most out of what life you have. Death is inevitable. Living a life we can be proud of is something that we can control. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhi. For sure, I don't want to be morbid. Okay, so now we have talked a lot about humans. Let us step into the world of a different world, which most of us would hate to be part of. Right? We have spiders, we have insects, whatnot. Most of us hate cockroaches. Most of us hate lizards, right? And most of us hate all the insects that make noise in the evening. Unfortunately, in our concrete jungles, you hardly get to hear them, but they are there, right? So let us see what is the take on insects that our Vanshika has to tell us.
In the quiet corners of our world, beneath the emerald canopy of ancient forests and the hidden corners of our homes, lay a remarkable and often misunderstood group of species which spin their tales of intrigue and wonder. Yes, I'm talking about spiders. What's the first reaction when you see a spider? You're either too afraid of it or eager to step on it, right? Good morning, everyone. My name is Vanshika, and today I'm going to be telling you why spiders are way cooler than you think they are. To start off with, the importance of spiders. Spiders, with more than 48,000 species known to mankind, exhibit a remarkable diversity in shape, size, color, behavior, and texture. The first thing which comes to our mind when you listen to the word spiders is Spider-Man, the great superhero with spidey senses and web-slinging powers. But the original web-slingers are the spiders, who have mastered the skills of web-slinging way before Spider-Man did. If there was no spiders, there wouldn't be any Spider-Man either. Speaking of slinging, spider silk is one of the most strongest and elastic material in the natural world. Imagine a world without spiders. They are the unpaid workers in our lives who eat up more than thousands of insects every single day, working as a pest control without any money. Who said spiders are always ugly? This is the redback spider, one of the most beautiful and poisonous spiders which is found in Australia. Many of the schools teach the children to stay away from this spider because of its venom. Speaking of venom, spider venom has been proven in many medical researches that it has medicinal values for treating diseases such as cancer, stroke, pain management, nothing but anesthesia, and etc. In fact, many of the spiders can't even bite into the human skin, so there's no point of being afraid of them. Now let me tell you a few fun facts about spiders. As a kid, I've always been taught that spiders have 8 legs, but also turns out that they have 8 eyes. Female spiders can lay up to more than 3,000 eggs at one time. That's a great deal for their size. Spiders can see what we cannot. We all know UV rays, which is very harmful to our eyes, but the spiders can see them. So it turns out that human eyes are more sensitive than their eyes. Before I conclude, I just want to say that these are just a few examples of what the spiders contribute to the human world. Let's take a moment to appreciate all the spiders can do that we cannot. In fact, they owned the planet before we did. Thank you.
What happens when you see an insect? Ew, yuck, right? These are the words which come out of your mouth. Well, I used to do the same thing until I learned the importance of these insects. Hi, I'm Shrika from grade 7 and today I'm going to be talking about why are insects known as the backbone of life on Earth. We live in a planet of insects which make up more than 70% of the living species on Earth. You may be thinking, that if these insects disappear, farmers would be the first one to celebrate as they no longer have to pour chemicals on their crop. But you're wrong. Insects are pollinators. Insects such as butterflies and bees pollinate the pollen grains from the flowers to help them grow fruits. There would be no fruits, veggies, rice or wheat. You can argue that birds, bats and even winds can pollinate, but most of the work are done by these insects. Insects are food for many animals such as birds, bats, fishes and other amphibians. Look at these disgusting looking creatures, the earthworms. They are disgusting but really important. We would be left out with a pile of organic matter if they weren't there, as they decompose the organic matter from leaves to humans. And the silkworms, by the name you can understand that they produce silk, and silk was one of the first clothing materials found. There are many other insects which we may not like, but they are very important. Even though some people think that insects are not so good looking, gross or even disgusting, but they'll always be the backbone of life on Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishita. Today, we're going to travel back in time. Imagine a world where millions of creatures lived on the earth. Today, we're unlocking the past. I'm Sahasra from grade 7A and today I'm going to be talking on the topic, are birds the closest relatives of dinosaurs? Think about the birds that you see in your park or at the backyard. They're just more than what you think they are. They're just more than colorful flyers or chirping neighbors. We have physical evidence to prove that birds are the closest relatives of dinosaurs. Fossils. Scientists have discovered that the fossils of birds and dinosaurs have similar shape. Feathers. Birds have feathers which basically sets apart from most of the animals. But guess what? Dinosaurs had feathers too. Not for flying but to keep themselves warm. Bipedalism. Let's break this term to understand it. Bi means two and pedalism means to walk. Both birds and dinosaurs were bipedal, meaning both of them used to walk on two legs. Cladistic analysis. Cladistic analysis is a study between the relationship of a bird and a dinosaur. Genetic clues.
Scientists can't get DNA from dinosaurs, but it is a bit like finding similarities between you and your cousin. Like you both may have the same eye color or the color of your hair. Birds are feathered dinosaurs and constitute the only known dinosaurs. Birds similar to dinosaurs. Cassowary is a bird which was similar to ancient dinosaurs than most of the other birds. If you look at the fossil of a cassowary and the Corathiraptor, which was a dinosaur, it has similar hip bone and neck bone. The shoebill stork. The shoebill stork is a bird that just looks like it's out of the dinosaurs era. If you look at the fossil of a shoebill stork and a velociraptor, it also has the same hip bone and neck bone. Facts. Both birds and some dinosaurs had unique respiratory systems involving air sacs that allowed for efficient oxygen exchange. Birds are not related to dinosaurs, but they're actually a type of dinosaur. Studies on bird embryos have revealed genetic markers that are also present in dinosaurs. The next time you're looking at a bird, you're looking at a piece of prehistory in front of your eyes. Thank you.
Have you ever gone on a nature walk? If you have you ever noticed a plant which is not green? It could have been a rose, a marigold, or even a sunflower. But I'm not talking about flowers here, I'm talking about leaves. Hi, my name is Presley Bunigala, and today I'm going to explain why some plants are not green. This occurs due to three main reasons: lack of chlorophyll, other pigments, and seasonal changes. So first things first, lack of chlorophyll. Some plants just can't take in the process of photosynthesis and are better munching on rotten leaves or logs. Like mushrooms, they grow on decaying organisms such as dead animals and dead plants. I'll give you a short feeling of it. Imagine yourself in a public bus on a hot day, and you're sweating, and then there's a bad smell around. How do you feel? You feel like you could throw up any minute, right? Next, other pigments. Plants sometimes have red leaves, blue leaves, or even yellow leaves. I'll give you an example of a maple. Why does this happen so? Because these plants have carotenoids, pigments which overshadow chlorophyll. And I'll tell you something, every plant has chlorophyll. Then why doesn't this plant look like the greenish ones we see every day? Because the carotenoids overshadow the chlorophyll present in the plant and take in other nutrients from other plants. Next, seasonal changes. Have you read about these amazing animals which change their fur season by season? I'll tell you about one. So, the Arctic fox. The Arctic fox lives in Antarctica and has white fur in the winter and brown in the summer to camouflage itself. What if I told you this is not only possible with animals but also with plants? Unbelievable, right? Yes, it's possible with them too. Japan has this amazing plant called the Japanese maple, which changes its colors season by season. In spring, it's red, in autumn, it's yellow, and in winter, it's brown. This happens because it makes sure that the leaves match with its surroundings and helps in protecting animals from predators. So the next time you find out that there's a plant with a different color, understand that every plant can be every color of the rainbow, and it's within the chemistry inside them. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Ever wondered if there's more to the universe than which meets the eye? Well, that's where the multiverse theory comes in. I'm Shanmukh, and today I'm going to talk about the multiverse. In simple words, the multiverse says that our universe is not alone. There are multiple or possibly infinite other universes like ours. Now imagine our universe like a book, a very huge book, with many more pages to be read. And the multiverse is like a library with many other books, small, big, different. And in the library, each book is different from one another. And so does in the multiverse. There is a chance another universe can be totally different from our universe. Each universe has its own set of unique laws of physics. There could be a universe where teleportation is possible. And this idea of the multiverse stems from various other theories, such as the inflationary theory of the Big Bang and the string theory. And how do we prove this? It still remains a challenge to all the scientists around the world, and the process is still being debated. And two of them are the cosmic background radiation analysis and the galaxy distribution patterns. In the cosmic background radiation analysis, or also known as the cosmic microwave background, which is the oldest light we can see, and it carries the information about the early stage of the universe. And with that, we could calculate the universe's time, and which could hint us at the existence of multiverse. And second, the galaxy distribution. In the universe, the galaxies are distributed in patterns, and the patterns can vary in variations, and these variations could be explained by the existence of pocket or bubble universes. In conclusion, the multiverse doesn't have a concrete evidence that it is there, but if it is proved, it could push our understanding of the cosmos to another level. Thank you. Climate change is defined as long-term shifts in temperatures and weather patterns. But have you ever wondered if the climate patterns have been the same throughout the continents, or have they evolved over Earth's geological ages? Good morning everyone, I am Rohan Mohanty, and today I will be talking about the topic climate change is a cyclic process. Earth history is divided into distinct geological ages, each characterized by unique climatic condition, flora and fauna. Let me take you on a short trip through the history of the planet. Let's go back 335 million years ago to the time of the Pangaea, the supercontinent, and that's where our story begins. During the Mesozoic era, commonly known as the Dinosaur Age, Earth experienced a tropical climate, which meant it is hot, humid and had high rainfall. Then suddenly, a significant climate change occurred. In this, an asteroid impact along with volcanic activities led to the extinction of most dinosaurs. It also accelerated the climate change during this era. After the Mesozoic era, which was 2.6 million years ago, Earth experienced a sudden ground freeze in the northern hemisphere. This gave rise to the first ice age. The ice age was characterized by a series of interglacial periods. The Holocene is the current geological era, characterized by relatively stable and mild climatic conditions. It began 11,700 years ago after the last ice age. Now let me ask you a question. What have we done in this era? What have we done? Human activities such as industrialization and deforestation have accelerated the climate change during this era. Some scientists propose that the impact of human activities is so significant that it warrants defining a new geological era called the Anthropocene or the Age of Man. Climate change, regardless of the geological era, has far-reaching consequences, including habitat loss, species extinction, sea level rise and extreme weather events. Now you must be wondering, what happens next? Where does the cycle continue? Based on the Milankovitch cycle, which is the cycle responsible for the previous and upcoming ice ages, Earth will soon face another ice age in the next 10 million years. But this ice age will not have such a great intensity as the previous one. So it will be safe to term it as the lower version of the ice age. So next time, when the cycle continues, it will continue in a different way in every single gallant continent. So until next time, thank you and have a great day ahead.
That was so deadly, yet extinct. You haven't figured it out yet, it's the Tasmanian tiger. Hello everyone, my name is Ritvik Kakhola and today I'm going to talk about the Tasmanian tiger. The Tasmanian tiger is the thylacine, or commonly referred to as the Tasmanian tiger, is an Australian marsupial which was native to mainland Australia, the islands of Tasmania and Papua New Guinea. If you ever find yourself at Hobart in Tasmania, don't forget to visit the Hobart Zoo, where the last thylacine, Benjamin, lived before he met his fate. The extinction of the thylacine. The thylacine went extinct due to the Europeans. When the Europeans came to Australia to colonize there, they brought cattle and other domesticated animals with them. Since a skillful predator such as the thylacine could pose as a threat to the Europeans' cattle, a bounty was placed on the thylacine head. The effects of the extinction. Ever since the Tasmanian tiger went extinct, many many effects have taken place. The scientists say that once the thylacine went extinct, there has been an increase in wildfires and a spread of diseases, and an increase in population of invasive species. Though there have been many sightings, there have been many sightings, it hasn't yet been proved that the thylacine is still there. Over the years, members of the public, park rangers and hunters have reported creatures that may relate to the Tasmanian tiger. De-extinction. The de-extinction of the thylacine was quite an expensive process. In 2016, an international group of scientists led by Professor Andrew Pask had
relaxed. When he turns here, then you go.
Okay. Oh, I thought you called my name. Let go.
Most of us love mysteries, and as we know, few of the mysteries are still unsolved. Today, I'm going to talk about one of those mysteries which is still unsolved till date. Hello everyone, I am S. Purvi from 9A. The year 1945, on 5th December at 2 in the afternoon, 5 torpedo bomber aircrafts of US Navy took off from Florida. It was a common trip, like there wasn't anything special. They were just simply flying to conduct their regular training missions. There were 14 crew people on flight, led by their flight leader, who was a highly experienced pilot. Everything was fine. The weather starts worsening. It's soon sunset and then the darkness. Find Fort Lauderdale. I don't know how to get to Fort Lauderdale, he said. The weather starts worsening. It's soon sunset and then the darkness of night. At 7:04 p.m., we get the last radio transmission from Taylor. All planes hold up tight, we'll go down together. After this, the 5 planes were lost forever. What happened to them? Where did they go? No one knows. After the disappearance of Flight 19, a search and rescue Mariner aircraft took off with a crew of 13 people. Their mission was to find Flight 19, but while looking for them, they too disappeared. First, the 14 people of Flight 19 and then the 13 people of search and rescue Mariner aircraft disappeared. For days after this, a large-scale air-sea search operation was carried out, which was one of the largest search operations of that time. Neither the bodies were found, nor any parts of the aircraft. Everything had disappeared. This place where the two aircrafts were disappeared is known as the Bermuda Triangle. Triangle became very popular, and then there were several computer games and even songs on this Bermuda Triangle. Washington called the West Indies Baltimore. This ship on its way, Ellen Austin encountered an unidentified ship. There was no crew, no people at all. So the captain went inside and checked. There was a lot of stuff neatly organized. The captain decided to send some of his crew members onto the ship and continue their journey with both the ships. Everything was fine for the first 2 days, but then came a storm. Their paths were separated, and then the unidentified ship went missing. They tried finding it and finally found it, but to their surprise, there was no trace of any human aboard the ship. The captain was shocked. He again sent a few more people onto the ship, and again the same story. A storm, their paths are separated, and the ship had disappeared. They again tried finding it, and then when they found it, the people on the ship again went missing. But this incident is just a story, as it is not possible to verify it. Most people think that Bermuda Triangle is a legend. Few people say that aliens and sea monsters might have captured these ships and aircrafts. Now let's look at this theory a bit more scientific. This area has one of the highest rates of hurricanes in the world. Now how does this relate to this? Most hurricane-seen countries are Cuba, USA, Mexico and China. Cuba lies in this area. And which state from US gets more hurricanes? It's Florida. Florida lies in this area too. So this area gets hurricanes and water spawns more frequently. This can be a reason for the disappearance of ships. But we are still not sure about the disappearance of Flight 19 and Search and Rescue Mariner aircraft. So can science solve this mystery, or like most of the times will nature overpower this? Thank you.
And today, I'll be talking about the milestone of transportation, the advent of electric cars. Electric cars are silent and emission-free vehicles that have changed our way of moving for a much more greener and sustainable future. Our journey begins in the 19th century And the first practical electric car was made by an American inventor. But it was not until the 21st century that it became popular and affordable. Now let's talk about the advantages of electric cars. Better performance. Electric cars nowadays are nimble, responsive and quick off the line, showing huge difference from our normal conventional cars. Easy and quiet to drive. Picture this. You slide into your driver's seat and click start. And that's all. You glide away. Electric cars help you tiptoe into a cleaner horizon. Zero tailpipe emissions. Picture this. You are driving through the city and there's no exhaust pipe spewing harmful gases. Yes, that's the magic of electric cars. Zero tailpipe emissions. Each electric car can reduce up to 15 million grams of carbon dioxide. Think how much this can impact our society. Is it convenient? Yes, it is. Your home is your next charging hub, and there are charging stations popping up in each corner of the world because of the rapid growth of popularity of electric cars. Lower running cost. Electric cars help you bid farewell to those pesky petrol and diesel bills. Yes, electricity is much more cheaper than our fossil fuels. And you can slash down these bills by using renewable energy sources such as solar powers. Low maintenance cost. Let's imagine our traditional cars are like high maintenance divas, always demanding attention. But that's not the case with electric cars. With fewer moving parts, the fewer the things can go wrong in the electric cars, and the fewer you need to pay for them. Tax and financial benefits. Our Indian government is rolling out the red carpet for electric cars, with registration fees and road taxes being much lighter on your wallet. Now, talking about our country, India is one of the world's largest and fast-growing car markets in the world, with over 40 crore people in need of a transportation solution. But with this comes problems such as fuel consumption and environment pollution. Under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the Indian government has taken many steps to develop our ecosystem into our EV ecosystem by providing subsidies, policies, and infrastructure. This not only helps our environment, but also our economy by providing new jobs, opportunities, and industries. But of course, EVs do come with challenges, such as high initial cost, limited range, charging time, and consumer rights. But I think adopting EV over a large scale far outweigh the drawbacks. In the 21st century, with global crises such as climate, air pollution, and resource depletion, we need a cleaner and greener alternative such as electric cars now more than ever. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Nidhi Sunkara. Today I want to share something incredible with you. The magic of artificial intelligence and human intelligence. AI is a transformative technology which aims to create intelligent machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. The AI and human mind. Limitations of AI. Even though AI has gotten much better, it doesn't understand things or think like humans do. AI is good at specific jobs, but it doesn't have the general smarts or common sense that people have. Human intelligence. The way people think is really complicated. Our minds can do creative stuffs, understand feelings, and think about things in a way that machines find it hard to do right now. Can artificial intelligence replace human intelligence? AI is improving, but it has limits. It needs good information to learn well. But if the information is one-sided, AI can have problems. AI can't be as creative as humans are because it follows rules and patterns, but not emotions and imagination. While AI can assist human creativity, but it can't replace it. AI also struggles to understand feelings like humans do, making it unable and making education more effective and accurate. Lives. While AI has the power to improve healthcare, education, and collaboration, it's crucial to make sure that it follows human values, respects privacy, and is fair. The future relation between AI and human mind is a partnership, not a competition. Thank you.
was created, and by everything I mean the whole universe, in how cold it is or how big it is. Hello everyone, my name is Aniket from grade 7, and today I'm going to be telling you about some of the secrets of the universe. You might be wondering how the universe was created in the first place. Well, scientists don't exactly know how it was created, but they came up with the theory that a giant fireball exploded, known as the Big Bang. The matter present inside of the Big Bang started to expand at a rapid pace to eventually form the universe. And the matter which was present in the Big Bang to form the universe was dark matter, dark energy, and normal matter. You might already know about the universe, but do you know exactly what it is? The universe is the creation of everything, and in simpler terms, basically means the creation of space, time, and all existence. Think of the universe as a bookshelf, the galaxies as sections, and the planets as books. The universe was also created a very long time ago, at a whopping 13.8 billion years ago. The temperature of it is also very cold, as it is about 2.7 kelvins, which roughly translates to minus 270.45 degrees Celsius. And the temperature of the Big Bang is about 1,000 trillion degrees Celsius. And the universe is also a holder of many galaxies. It holds approximately 200 billion to 2 trillion galaxies, and it is also the holder of our home galaxy, the Milky Way. The Big Bang theory is not the only theory that scientists came up with. There are many other theories that people came up with. For example, an ancient Chinese theory states that a giant hatched from an egg, and the eggshell became the universe, while the eyes of the giants became the sun and the earth. Another one states from an African myth that a giant named Mbobo vomited and barfed out the whole universe with all of its contents. And another theory stated by a French race car driver is that some extraterrestrial life forms from the multiverse came and created the universe. The universe also has no definite shape, as some people think it's in the shape of a donut, while others think it's the shape of a sphere, and other people think it's the shape of a cylindrical tube. And as per its size, people say that the universe has no end and that its size is impossible to figure out. The universe is also part of a cycle. Scientists think that the universe will keep expanding and expanding until something known as the Big Crunch occurs. After the Big Crunch occurs, all the universe basically implodes on itself, and after a few billion years, another Big Bang occurs, which creates another universe. In conclusion, the universe really is a mystery, and there still are some secrets to be uncovered. One day we'll hopefully find the exact reason on maybe how the universe was created. And who knows, we can maybe find even more secrets that will tell us more about the universe. Thank you.
Looking forward to since, I don't even remember how many months, 9 months back or so. And all the hard work of these speakers sitting at the back, I could feel the nervousness, their nervousness when I was touching them, when I was holding them. Their hands were sweating and they were cold. This is not an easy spot, and they have proved themselves today, and they deserve a round of huge, loud applause. Let's do it. I would request our principal ma'am to please come up and share her thoughts with us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
This is not required. This is also required. Okay. All right. We end this day with so many beautiful TED speakers. The 27 of them, the powerful speeches that they have given, and they have participated successfully. I mean, TED is about research. Through research, knowledge, and through knowledge you gain wisdom. And all the wonderful 27 TED speakers have displayed their wisdom on this dais. And it was not an easy thing for them. In between, I did see, like, okay, few of them have taken a minute. They cooled down, and then they have gone with their speech. So this is what is learning about and preparing for life. And then each of your speech, consolidating that into a presentation. And it is not just a normal presentation, it is called as presentation literacy. So how many ideas you have, or whatever speech that you're planning, your audience have only 1 or 2 minutes, right? And in that 1 or 2 minutes, you need to convey your message. Wonderful children, again, a big round of applause to all the 27 TED speakers and their mentors, Ms. Mayura and Kirtika. A big round of applause to them. And a big round of applause to all the 27 speakers' parents. It's a collaborative effort between the child, teachers, and the parents, and this is what is the outcome. Next year, dear children, I want all of you to lose the fear, come here, pick your topic, and then research, and the world is out there, just explore it. Yeah, thank you so much, and we shall conclude it. I think most of you are hungry also, right? Let us take a break now. Thank you. Over to Mayura, ma'am.
In the last part, very formal, but still